instantly I could feel all that pain being released out of my foot. So it definitely shows the cold water helps.
Well, yes, we want to look at the science behind it. We also want to understand how it's actually is impacting people's lives.
It's a swimming pool. It's a swimming pool. Yeah. There's no sharks. You're not in Australia now. I'm ready. Yeah. Let's do it.
It is amazing, isn't it, how the mind switches off. Hi, welcome to this episode of Chill with Sweaty AF. We have Pete Coopah.
Hey.
From Coopah Running App, who we've already met before, so friend of ours, and we're here to talk about
Pete's cold therapy.
Pete's been trying to get us into the tooting Lido. Haven't been yet.
You should come now. It's good now. It's good. It's like
What's
you
the
can
temperature?
swim
It's
properly now.
cold. Our ice bath is 0.5
they do
degrees.
a
It's
swim.
colder than the Arctic.
Are you swimming in her?
No.
It's a good couple of minute dip, isn't it?
No,
And
it's
you're-
only like, it's probably like 12, 13 degrees now, I reckon.
Okay.
It's swimmable.
It's a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Swimming pool in Tooting.
No,
Quite
sorry,
a lot.
swimmable.
swimmable.
Oh, it's swimmable.
Yeah.
So what do you do? So it's Tooting Lido, and you go weekly?
Yeah, so in the winter, I will try to go at least once a week, usually on a Sunday, post long run, and I'll go in for the degrees it is. So if it's 1 degree, I'll go in for 1 minute, then I'll go in the sauna for 10, then I'll come back in for a minute, back in the sauna.
Sauna
back in.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now
And the
you've
membership's
piqued our
cheap.
interest.
Yeah, the
Okay.
membership's cheap. It's the place to be. So I'm the co-founder of the Coopah Run Coach app. The Coopah Run Coach app is on a mission to make running a habit. I started the app after suffering from depression, anxiety and OCD. And I heard a stat that 58% of people stop running within 30 days. And I'm on a mission to reduce that and really change that. And our app, we see 8% of people stop running after 60 days. So we're already bringing that down and hopefully helping to stop the mental health crisis.
Amazing. How's your mental health now you've heard your Hoover?
I know, sorry.
I could feel.
God,
I could feel her hair standing.
That anxiety. Well, I was just going to say,
Making it real.
I've just started my running journey.
Whoa, great work.
Because apparently we're doing the London Marathon next year.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, my dad started running after he had a heart attack. And he loves running. He does the park run every week, and I've made a promise to him that I will this summer do a park run with him.
I remember you telling me
So
this.
I hate running. I would prefer to poke myself in the eye than run.
What's your business, Pete?
Yeah.
You need to get on the app. You need to get on the app.
However, I would say
I love running,
I am
actually.
trying, and it is, yeah, it's fun. We do a lot of
What do you hate
exercise,
about
right?
running? Why do you hate it?
It's hard.
You're trying to run too fast.
There's
Well,
not
I
a
know.
lot that
So
we do that's easy,
I know.
though.
I am running with somebody. I'm doing a program with somebody, and they do keep saying to me, "Bring the pace back,
Yeah.
slow down," and that is making it easier. But
If you can't talk, you're running too fast.
Yeah.
So even if you need to go into a walk, just go into a walk.
yeah,
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I used to run quite a lot
You
when we
did,
first
yeah.
met, but I was starting to feel knee pain. So I've started back at the gym now, just doing it on treadmill for...
Yeah. It might not be your
Lovely.
knee. It might be your quads or hams or calves. That's usually what it is.
So you will go for a long run and then go to the Lido. Is that what you?
Yeah, so what I'll try and I'll either do cold water on a pure rest day, or I'll do it immediately after my long run. So I might go and park at the Lido, go and run 15, 20 miles, and then I'll come in. And what I love about it is, and it's really funny because this happened the other day, and I'll talk about it in a minute, but what I love is you can really feel all the pain in your body and any like aches and kind of, if you've got a niggle, you really feel it pulling out, and I just really try and focus my mind on. So I've got a bad foot that I've had for ages, and I always just feel it kind of pulling it out, like pulling that pain out. And I don't look into the research behind it or whether it's just in my mind, but I really feel it. And then when I was on Dartmoor on the first day, I said to myself, this is really weird. I mustn't be injured anymore because I can't feel any pain. Went back the next day and it was like real early morning, like 8 a.m. So the sun hadn't hit it and it was freezing. And the day before wasn't cold at all. And I was like, my foot, and I wasn't prepped for going in, my foot's going to hurt. And instantly I could feel all that pain being released out of my foot. So it definitely shows the cold water helps. So in the summer it's not, I need a night's bath because in the summer I don't have one. So, but the Lido's still a bit cold, but not cold enough, I don't think, to really feel that. But I like post-run to really feel all the tension coming out of my body.
I think that's a really interesting point as well, because there is a lot of research around cold water immersion, but some of it is kind of conflicting, some of it is not, maybe hasn't gone on over a long enough period. But what we're finding is, anecdotally, people are getting that reaction when they're getting in the cold water, whether it's like from an injury or whether it's from a mental health benefit. It's like you just feel the release and the relief from things. And I think that's why it's really cool to share stories, because, well, yes, we want to look at the science behind it. We also want to understand how it actually is impacting people's lives. And you're obviously getting a lot of benefit from going.
Yeah, I actually replaced it this year with sports massages because it's a lot cheaper. I think a Lido membership in the winter is maybe £60. Or maybe even cheaper than that. So it's only, I think it's October to March, and I just replaced it, and I didn't get injured. I found it really helped me. I did get a sports massage just before the marathon, just for that anxiety. But I think it definitely helps it.
And we should put it into context. You are not just doing park runs every week. You are doing big runs. You're doing marathons. You've just done the Boston Marathon.
Just did the Boston and the Leeds, and annoyingly it was really hot, so I didn't quite. You can't train for England for the heat.
No.
So yeah.
And just a little bit about that. Just, we know this, but just so to share with everybody, why did you get into running?
Yeah, so I first got into running because I was watching my mum kind of go to these major marathons. So you come up to London from Devon, like little farmer boy in Devon, and you come to London, you're like, this is amazing. There's like 1 million people lying in the street screaming like your mum's name or any random person's name. You're like, this is the closest I'm ever going to get to being a footballer. Like, I want to do it. Like, this is amazing. So I said to my mum, how old do I have to be? And she was like 17 for a half, 18 for a marathon. So 17, I ran Plymouth Half. And then at 18, I was like, Mum, I want to run a marathon. Went away to uni, that changed. And then I ran Berlin Marathon with her when I was 21 and absolutely loved it. And then she passed away a few months later. But I didn't train or anything for this marathon. So, but I kept going to her, Mum, how do I get sub 4? And she was like, I love dogs, by the way, it's all right. So I was like, how do you get sub 4? And she was like, you just need to train. And then I literally just couldn't make training a habit. So I then she passed away. So then I made it like my mission to finish the 6 major marathons in her memory. And she needed to get Chicago, New York and Tokyo. So I got to go to some pretty cool cities.
Cool.
And I've just finished it. So I should have brought my medal.
Yeah.
Don't know where it is actually.
You don't know where it is?
No, I have no idea where it is.
On show.
Exactly.
And then the week after, I met an Olympian and she brought her silver medal, and I was like, oh, this tops my major marathon. So that's probably why I don't know where it is anymore.
Screw that. So you go every week to the Lido, and you just mentioned you do sauna as well.
Yeah.
So you always finish on cold?
Always finish on, should always finish on cold, but quite often I finish in warm. Just because, but then you
don't do that.
No, because you then do finish in cold, because I then go into the showers and they're always freezing.
Oh, okay.
So I technically do finish on cold. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you're having a cold shower, you definitely do. That's changed it up for us now, isn't it? Now we know there's a sauna there.
Yeah, I mean,
See you
I
there.
told you last time you have to come up.
No, we will.
No,
well,
no.
now we know there's a sauna.
I mean,
we
you're
will.
used to it now.
Yeah,
It won't be as cold as
the
that.
We love
cold
it.
doesn't. It's not the cold that bothers me. It's I actually have a massive fear of open water.
And the Lido's massive.
Yeah, that would really.
I'll look after you. We'll bring your arm back.
We'll just go in the shallow end. They don't open the deep end.
Okay.
So they close off half of. It's only the shallow end that's open.
Okay.
So
And are there
For me, it's
Sort
the
sort of
hygiene.
animals in there?
animals? No, it's a Lido. It's a swimming pool. It's a swimming pool. Yeah. There's no sharks. You're not in Australia now. But it'll be interesting to go in today because I haven't been in real cold water for a while now, because
Okay,
obviously
so-
because when you just go in natural water like the Lido, it's however the temperature is. So you turn up and you're like, oh, it might be 1 degree, it might be 6 degrees. You kind of got, so obviously as now it's May, I've kind of come out, so I'm really looking forward to going in.
So what is the coldest water?
I think the coldest I've been in is I've done ice baths. My friend's got like a retreat down in Sussex, so I've been in his ice baths and it's hard, it's cold, but I do like them.
Yeah.
The coldest I've been is with you, that minus 240 was it?
That's a different feeling. This
100% different.
It's not, and it's not nearly as challenging. And this is what I love about. I mean, there's many things I love about Betty, but the mental challenge is up there for me.
And getting the breathing right and really getting it right. Whereas we were dancing around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the cryo, you can be a bit sort of silly, but I mean, sometimes we are silly in the ice bath as well.
Daily.
But you have to get to that point where you feel able to be silly.
To be,
and you've got to get yourself into that kind of headspace.
And it is a headspace to get into each
But
day.
you mentioned that you sometimes go with people.
Yeah.
How does that must help? Because we find it helps us doing it together.
It definitely helps because you see one person go in, the second go in, the third go in, and you're like, well, I've got to go in now. And I think it's interesting when you see new people go, oh, I'll come and try it. And you're like, you see them make the same mistake as we all did, which is you just jump in and then you're like, shit, and then you're panicking and then you need to get out. As actually, it's all, although you look like a bit of a odd person going in, like really getting yourself in the mind and like doing the deep breaths, but that's what you have to do to go in. And it is an art, I think, like, so it helps. But also you have to be...
He's put his arse on me all the time. He's put his arse on me.
He wants this bloody chewy thing, but I'm just like, oh God. This is why I never make anything with children or animals, right?
So do you do cold showers as well then?
Not as much as I'd like to, but I was actually at the Ned the other day and someone clearly had a cold shower before and I didn't know, and I turned it on and I was like, this is amazing. And I think because it's such a nice shower, it makes it really easy if it's on. But I think at home, quite often it's like I just want to get in, clean myself, dry off and get out. So I want to get more into it. Like my friend does it every single day. He still doesn't find that really helps him get in the water though. He thinks it's very different, but he's sure it helps him stay away from getting ill and stuff, the cold showers. I don't do them yet. Sometimes I will, but not daily.
Yeah.
It's just a form of being able to do it because not everybody has got the ice bath, and it is probably the easiest and most accessible way to do it.
And most people we've spoken to have started their cold water journey or cold journey on showers. So when was the first time you did cold water or cold therapy?
So first cold water I would have done was Brockwell, like last year, January, like first week of January. I texted a few of my mates and said, let's just do it. We were like, let's just go for it. And then the first proper ice bath I went in would have been April or May at my mate's retreat I did last year.
Recently,
so it's only really been about a year, I'd say. But now you don't really think about, you go up to the Lido and you're just like, right, in we go. So it'll be interesting knowing that's so much colder, how I feel going into that.
How long do you go into the Lido for?
Based on the minute per the degree. If it's a degree, I'll be in for a minute, back out, back in, back out.
We had another guest that did that.
Yeah, she goes
in Hampstead.
She goes to the ponds in Hampstead, and that's exactly what she does as well.
Oh, so she's swimming with fish every day. Plenty of fish in the sea.
But it's interesting what you say about that Lido and about the accessibility of it, because like I was like constantly like, I'm going to get an ice bath, and then I saw the prices, I was like, I'm not going to get an ice bath, and then I was like, oh, I'll just go to Lido actually, but now it's not. Now it's summer and it's not cold. I'm kind of like, oh, I don't have that. So I was actually looking at like my flower bed in the garden. I was like, right, I could dig that out, put another wall up in it, and then just put water in and put a load of ice in every day. So I think there are a load of hacks that you don't have to if you can't afford the full price of one, I think
Yeah.
there are loads of hacks you can do to
And
get,
the cold
or even
shower,
just like
I
an
mean,
old tin bath.
You could run a cold bath.
Yeah. And you can run a bath inside a
Exactly.
cold bath. Yeah.
You can in this country because it does. The water is. I mean, there are countries where the water's not cold enough for that to be useful, but in this country it is.
Yeah.
I reckon you get a good 8 degrees. Probably.
Because I think
And then you
with
chuck the ice in it as well.
Yeah.
You can
But
get
you're
it down.
getting good benefits at 8 degrees. I mean, when
Yeah.
we first started with Betty, it was 10,
Was it
wasn't
10?
it? Yeah.
And then you
that
just
was-
worked yourself
Yeah.
down into it.
Yeah. And sometimes we go back up again, like, and we actually don't time ourselves. We just go by how we're feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes if you go in with like, I've got to do 3 minutes, that in itself can sometimes put you off or be a bit overwhelming. And sometimes you don't need 3 minutes, or sometimes actually maybe you need a little bit longer. So you
Agreed.
just go with how you're feeling.
The first time I did it, there was actually a lady there who like specialised in it. And she was like, you're just going to get in, I'm going to walk you through it, like you're going to close your eyes. And she just talked me through it. And then she said, do you want to continue? And I was like, if this is a chance to get out, I'm going to get out.
Yeah.
But she was then like, you did more than the minute to the degree. But it was funny how the minute she offered me the chance to
you
get out,
took
I
it.
got out. So that's like the same with the minute. You're
Yeah.
thinking, right, one minute. It's a bit like if you look at marathon running, like there's only 25 miles, 24. That's a long way to make your marathon. You're better to split it into 3 different races. And it's probably the same with getting in cold water.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is going on now? This is like the noisiest podcast in the history of the world.
Keeping it real. I think we should go for it.
Yeah,
We should go
shall
for
we
a
go?
dip. Are you
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it.
You've got the full wind, rain
Oh,
and ice today.
This is when I don't enjoy
How are
doing
you
it. when it's-
feeling? Are you excited?
Do you know what? I feel really stressed this week, so I'm really looking forward
Okay.
to this.
Okay.
I just need to, because I've finished my marathons, I'm not quite on a plan at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to getting in here. So, yeah.
So
raining.
what we sort of suggest you do is try and do a few breaths where you are just kind of down regulating the nervous system slightly. So breathe in for 4 and out for 6. So let the longer exhale. So you're in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3,
will you
4,
count me?
5, 6.
Good.
Yeah. So we maybe do 3 of those. And then the most important thing is when you go in is to do an exhale. So then you mitigate the gasp
So am I
reflex.
going to have my feet in whilst we're doing the in and out? And then
No,
I'm gonna
you can
slide
just
in?
sit on here
Yeah.
whilst we do the in and out, and then when you're ready, you go in.
Slide in.
Yeah.
Cool.
In 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you're ready, go in on an exhale.
I'm already feeling that pain
Amazing.
in my foot.
Yeah. It's a
Take
little
your
colder than
time.
the Lido, isn't it?
Don't have to talk for a minute, just really focus on like getting your breath calm.
So cold still as well.
Yeah, how
How
are you
you feel?
feeling now?
Yeah, really good. Like the mind is just like
Yeah.
everything's cleared because you just have to go into survival mode. I feel, and now actually I've got through probably feels like 5 minutes was probably 30 seconds, and now it's like you kind of just know you've survived, and now it's like feeling good, and now I'm kind of focusing on my foot and really feeling it all coming out. And luckily nowhere else in my body's hurting, so you can tell I've done a good recovery hopefully. So yeah, no, really good.
It is amazing, isn't it, how the mind switches off. That's just one of the nicest feelings when you hit past, and you will be over a minute, and I think it is around about the minute mark where your mind just clears
Yeah.
and you start to kind of
We say
take in the
don't
surroundings.
push it too far, so as
Yeah.
soon as you start getting the real shivers, it's time to get out.
Yeah, I
don't,
think I'm gonna do it
don't
now. I can
push
feel it on my
beyond.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what temperature was that?
This is 1/2 degree.
Half. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So usually I'd only do 30 seconds.
I
Yeah, you
enjoy
definitely do enjoy it because you feel it, the good stuff that's coming
All
out of you.
happening,
And
yeah.
it's not often you just get a minute where you just
No.
your mind's turned off. Like, other than when you're asleep, I guess.
Yeah.
But then is it turned off because you haven't dreamed?
Dreams,
and
yeah.
stuff, So, yeah. That was really good.
Well done. You did amazing.
Amazing. Well done.